that
Can
fast
we go
girl, you
straight
know.
from Kariki's cancellation request into female?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can roll into that.
Adam.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't know it was an offensive term. I was
Very
using
clear that you do not know.
Yeah, we was in the Spell House Millennials group text, and some young lady posted after you hear the word female or something, words to the effect that there's no value after it, and I was like, that's nonsense. Because I said use the word female, and I was well intentioned after what I was saying. I was saying something that damn mattered. So she was wrong. But then it turned into the bigger conversation of using the term female to describe women. And I come from the place of, yeah, I'm just referring to you, a woman, yeah, a female, like, we when we doing a job application, male, female, no, no malice behind the word at all. But I've since been corrected.
Bruh, how you get corrected on something that stands as true though? I don't understand how you got corrected on an objective truth.
Because in this world that we live in, people can assign definitions to words that they deem offensive.
Question.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
When you're standing in a group, do you say those males over there or do you say those men? I just have a
I
question.
say hard legs.
No, shut up, Adam.
No, literally no one ever says, look at those males.
Those males over there. Look at them.
Hey, I don't know how to get there, but the males on the corner might be able to tell you the way.
But I don't think many people also say, look at those female. Oh, never mind, they do. I take that
back. They do.
They say the male chorus.
But there's a difference between common diction and inappropriate. The term
Right.
female it's a common diction. It's common in the language, and it's not anything outlandish or inappropriate. It's a common term. Now, if we don't like the common term, that's a different ball game.
Why is it common though?
Yeah, because it's not a noun. It's an adjective.
Right. What's wrong with the descriptor?
Because female and male are used to describe bathrooms. They're like what bathroom?
When you're filling out an application, they're not asking you what bathroom you use. Like,
yeah, they ask.
You can describe like dogs, a female dog or a male dog, a female alligator or a male alligator.
Yeah, it speaks to the XXXY genome. It speaks to the born nature of the person. Were you born XX or XY? Like that. We can go XXXY.
I don't know about what you born.
People at the top of this screen are evading a question. It was asked. I would like to ask my question again, and I hope that you will answer it this time.
What's the question?
I'm gonna listen intently and I'm ready.
Why is the use of female common to describe a group of women, and the use of male not common to describe a group of men?
Because y'all chose not to use the word males.
It's not y'all, Adam.
Okay, cancel the second part of the question. Why do you find it acceptable? Why do you find it acceptable to use half of that dynamic and not the other half?
I find it acceptable because when I look at the group, that is the adjective that comes to mind. When I look at the other group, that's not necessarily the adjective that comes to mind. I can only go off of what my brain populates. If my brain populates group of females, group of women, group of, that's what it populates. There's very few scenarios where I've ever looked around the room and like, wow, it's a group of males over there. Like that it doesn't populate like that. That's not the adjective that comes to mind.
But here's the thing: if somebody did use that, would you have an issue with it?
No.
Like if
someone looks at me and like, you're a male. I'm like,
you don't know it because you don't have to experience it.
Well, hold on. Just because he wouldn't be offended by it doesn't mean that they can't be offended by it now.
Yeah, I speak for me. I
think a lot of the times from my experience, when I see men say female online, what usually comes after it is not positive. So I've never seen, I've never seen anyone say these women and then something negative all the time. But almost all the time I see someone say female on social media, something negative comes after it. And then, of course, there's the whole thing where not everyone is, like, there are some people who were born female and don't identify as a woman.
Yeah,
so is the issue more so rooted in that your experience from it being that way, where most of the time you've seen it, is something negative come behind it?
Well, that, and also it's like, why is it necessary? Why can you just not call us women? Why does it always have to seem like it's some type of inferiority thing? Like, why can't we just be called women if that's what we want to be called?
Yes, what you say makes absolute sense. But I think that from the male perspective, that's not a conversation that's had commonly enough, because I did not realize using the term female was offensive at all. So I think there are a lot of men who come from a place of ignorance and not malice, like just not knowing that it's disrespectful to call women females, because not many women will be like, please don't call me female. And like, all right, whatever, bitch, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, and then that's okay too, right? But and that's another conversation where it's like, hold on, hoe and bitch is okay, but females not? I'm confused.
Hey man, I struggle with it as I sit here now. I understand for you two ladies, that is a term when you hear it. I understand the way that it has been primed, the way that when you hear it, you feel that something negative is coming, and I get it.
I actually didn't say that.
You're correct. You did not. KP's language. I apologize for putting KP's language on you. I stand corrected. I'll draw that back. Okay. For me, I stand hard on it. It's an adjective. It works. We can look back into. We'll go to Genesis. Male and female created he, them. It's there. I've never looked at it with a negative connotation. So whenever I hear it, I just say, okay, that's the gender that's over there.
I think to specifically highlight the reason why I mentioned that I didn't say that when I did is because I think the issue that I see with females is that usually when it's used, it is to lump women's thoughts and behaviors into one thing. So you kind of like have the spirit of female in my eye without saying the words right then. And that is what I see as being the problem with it, which I do think, to be fair, is inherently derogatory. Because none of you gentlemen like when men are generalized in a way, especially when it pertains to negative behavior that you don't appreciate being associated with. And it's not always that men are saying something negative about women when they're lumping in some way. It's just that there's a dehumanization that occurs when you look at a woman as a woman more than you do a woman as a person. And I think most men look at women more like women than they do people. Like, y'all are people, we are women. When you say men and call us females, it even like furthers that distinction.
Okay. I appreciate that insight. That's something I can chew on. I know historically when I use the term humans, that gets a lot more flack than it does when I say the term female, but I'm with it. I understand where you're coming from. I appreciate you sharing that.
So that takes you kind of.
You're welcome.